Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Camp Community College, honoring legends in our community. What a great pleasure it is to be here with all of you today. I am Dr. Carlita Artis, and I am the Community Engagement Specialist here at the Workforce Development Center, and I'm also going to be co-hosting this event with Mr. Travis Parker, who also introduced himself.
Hello. I wasn't reading the script.
So we all just wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you for not taking it lightly to come out and celebrate our local legends today. Can we start with a round of applause for all of you for being here today? A lot of times when we think about legends, a lot of times we think about those who've gone before us. We think about people who have pioneered and they have, worked the grounds. They have started something anew. And so we are so honored and so proud to be here today to honor those who are still here, still working in the vineyard, still doing great things, still mentoring others, still sharing their wisdom, still sharing their intelligence, still giving back to their community. So we are so happy to be a part of that and to be having this event today. I want to say a special thanks to Dr. McCray, our president, and Dr. Trina Jones, and Dr. Antoinette, full name, Johnson, for being here today and also sponsoring this event, and all of you, especially all of you, for not taking it lightly for being here today. And to all of our honorees, we have something special for you today. So thank you all so much. I was also asked to add that we will be, and we are live streaming via YouTube. So thank you to all of our folks who are watching via YouTube. Everybody wave at the people out there. Hey, okay. So also we'll be recorded. So if someone that you know and love and they weren't able to be here, they can watch it later via YouTube. And any other announcements? No. Okay, wonderful. And so with that being said, I want to take a moment. We would like to honor those who have come before us, those in our families and our communities that are no longer here, and we would like to honor them with a moment of silence. So if you'll join me and just bow or just close your eyes or open your eyes, just give a moment of respect for those. Thank you all so much for that. At this time, could I ask Mr. Parker to take over and share the purpose of our program?
All right, good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Aldis, for ushering us into this great occasion that we're about to embark on today. Right now, my job is to give you the purpose. So the purpose of this event is to commemorate the rich heritage and enduring legacy of Black history while recognizing and paying tribute to the local legends among us. Through their resilience, leadership, and dedication, these individuals have left an indelible mark on our community and inspiring us all to strive for excellence and social change. From a poetic portrayal of Frederick Douglass by the acclaimed Nathan Richardson to the heartfelt tributes of our esteemed honorees. This event will be a meaningful and inspiring experience for us all. Your presence at this event is a vital contribution to the collective acknowledgement and appreciation of Black history and culture in our community. So, and now, I would like to present to you and to introduce others our own president of Camp Community College. And I would also like to note the first African-American president of Camp Community College, Mr. Dr. Corey L. McRae.
So thank you. I appreciate that warm introduction, and it is a pleasure for me to be here today to share in this most momentous occasion and to celebrate this month, which is Black History Month. This is a dear month for me, but certainly I appreciate looking out amongst this audience and seeing those of you who are in attendance and your willingness to come here in the middle of this day to celebrate Black History Month with us. So, as we gather to celebrate Black History Month and honor the remarkable achievements of individuals who have left a positive mark on our society, I extend the warmest greetings and congratulations to all attendees. Black History Month serves as a time for reflection, celebration, and education. It is an opportunity to recognize the resilience, strength, and contributions of Black Americans throughout history. From civil rights leaders and cultural icons to everyday heroes who have worked tirelessly to advance equality and justice for all. Today's event is a testimony to the power of community and the importance of honoring those who have paved the way for progress. I commend the organizers, participants, and honorees for their dedication to preserving and promoting Black history and heritage. As we come together to commemorate the legacy of Black excellence, let us recommit ourselves to creating a more inclusive and equitable future for all. Together, we can continue to build upon the foundation laid by those who have gone before us, striving for a society where everyone and every individual has the opportunity to thrive and succeed. I wish you all a memorable and inspiring afternoon, and thank you.
those inspiring words to all of us. And yes, as we celebrate Black History Month, as we celebrate today, we just want to say again, thank you, all of you, for being here. At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Janae Sweat, our Student Life Coordinator, to join me at the podium so she can introduce our speaker of the hour.
Good afternoon. Poet Nathan M. Richardson. Nathan M. Richardson is a current resident and native of Suffolk, Virginia, a 22-year retired veteran of the United States Army. He is an accomplished performance poet, published author, and Frederick Douglass historian. His poetry collections include Likeness of Being 21 Imaginary T-shirts and The 7 Last Poems of an Unarmed Citizen. Books featuring Nathan's success includes You Can Do That, An Amazing People with Amazing Jobs by David Messick, and You Don't Want Success, Demolishing Fears and Excuses by Miko Marsh. Nathan teaches a variety of workshops for emerging writers and is the creator and host of Poetry, Prose, and Pizza Open Mic series. He is a former coach and current ambassador at large for the Hampton Roads Youth Poet, a division of youth empowerment organization, Teens with a Purpose. Nathan is now in his 10th year of the Frederick Douglass Speaking Tour, a living history performance that captures completely the physical and spiritual essence of the former slave writer, orator, and abolitionist Frederick Douglass. This living history series has been internationally and nationally and is featured in the Chewbacca Institute. Nathan has film credits with the National Park Service and Alabama Public Television. His rendition speech, Frederick Douglass, honors the unknown loyal dead, which was nominated for Best Short Film at the 2022 I Will Tell International Film Festival. A short list of Nathan's affiliations include the Suffolk Arts League, the Poetry Society of Virginia, Young Audiences of Virginia, First Amendment First Vote, Virginia's Reconciliation, and the Association of African American Museums. Please join me in welcoming poet Nathan M. Richardson.
Good afternoon, Camp
Good afternoon.
College. I am here with unusual diffidence, and when I'm listening to my introduction, I don't know how my understudy always gets mixed up in the introduction of Frederick Douglass, but nevertheless, thank you for that warm welcome, and I'm here with unusual diffidence. Papers and the placards all say that I am to give an oration, and so I am here excited and having to change my plans about what I was going to talk about. After when I land here in the modern era, and then I started looking around and the people and places that and the things that I'm seeing just in this moment in this modern era, my head starts reeling. Because first of all, I'm thankful to all those who invited me, including the president of this college. He walked up and introduced himself, and I was startled. I thought I was looking at my good friend Booker T. Washington. To have a black president of the college, you understand that Booker T. Washington was a good friend of mine and established the Tuskegee Institute, and I went there. And spoke at Tuskegee. So that was one memory. And then I'm looking at, I was looking around the room and I saw all these men with green jerseys on, it seems, and I asked the organizer who these young men were, and she said they are from the baseball team. So let's give them a round of applause for being here. I appreciate you all coming to help even out this congregation of people. The reason that I'm singling you all out is that you might not know this. I had 3 sons myself. I had 5 children. Rosetta was my firstborn, and then 3 sons, Charles, Lewis, and Frederick Jr. And of course, Frederick Jr., he was a businessman. Charles and Lewis fought in the Civil War. They were part of the 54th Regiment. But in 1872, when we moved to Washington, D.C., one of the first things my son Charles did, who he loved to play baseball, he joined the Alert baseball team in Washington, D.C., and he played second base. Now, the thing about my son was that he was not just your average baseball player. He was an entrepreneur, and so in short order, he became the president of the Alert baseball team, and then a year later was managing the Mutual Colored Baseball League in Washington, D.C. So I certainly appreciate you all's presence today to remind me of my son, Charles. Yes. And so then I'm looking at this roster of honorees, and they are absolutely remarkable. Most of them have the word doctor before their names. So quite an accomplished group of people, including one woman I saw was the vice president of a bank. And I recall the time that I was appointed by President Grant as the president of the Freedmen's Bank and Trust. This was during Reconstruction. And of course, I certainly didn't have the credentials that you have, ma'am. They gave me the position just on my name alone. They thought I could save the bank. The bank was in trouble. It was established by Reconstruction. And John Mercer Langston, who was heading up the Freedmen's Bureau. And they said, Mr. Douglas, we'd like you to take over the bank. There seems to be trouble with the bank. And when I got there, I realized that there was money coming out of the coffers from the wrong side. And even after I put $10,000 of my own money into the bank, it still went insolvent. So I found myself before Congress explaining why this institution of lending had went insolvent. But nevertheless, I'm sure your tenure at the bank was much more profitable than mine. There were several times in my history that I was considered unprofitable. In 1881, I was the ambassador to the country of Haiti, and they sent me to Haiti to be an ambassador for that country, to look out for the welfare of the Haitian people and to the interest of America. And I got down there, and then that tenure ended up short as well. That they said I was more concerned about the interest of Haiti than I was America. That I didn't want to go along with the Clyde and Company and their dealings, that they didn't want to share their profits with the Haitian people. They said I was an unprofitable servant to America. And so I'm telling you all of this and making myself seem quite small. But I was able to accomplish some things in my lifetime. Of course, first of all, I escaped from bondage, taught myself how to read and write, and became a noted orator. I spoke all over the country, all over the world. And so this was something that all of the people who are enrolled here in this university and this workforce center have an advantage on myself, because of course I was not taught how to read and write. I had to teach myself how to read and write. My slave master, I heard him say one day, do not teach that boy how to read. An educated slave is a worthless slave. And it was at that very minute that I realized Once you can read, you will be forever free. You will be forever free. And so we are carrying on the tradition of all of our children. We have all our children close to us because we understand that it is easier to build strong children than repair broken men. Men and women. And so that's the charge of this great institution, that we have our president carrying on that legacy to make sure that we send out people from this college able to think for themselves. Not what to think, but how to think. Not what to think, but how to think. And so I come here as I have come always. I'm thinking of so many speeches that I have given in my lifetime that apply to this very moment. I'm seeing all the women who are here, and I'm thinking of my time in 1848 when I stood beside the women for women's suffrage. I stood and signed the Declaration of Sentiments for women, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, Sojourner Truth, all of those women who were fighting for their rights. I'm thinking about this workforce center, which is showing young people that you may not necessarily be in the college class, but you can certainly learn a trade that will put you in a position where you can learn and make a profit in this society. I'm thinking just about what it means to work. Thinking about what it's work and what freedom is. And for the Black man, in the speech I gave, what the Black man wants, freedom is the right to choose one's own employment. That's what it means. And if it means anything, I use the phraseology, the old phraseology, that for the Black man, it is the immediate, unconditional, and universal enfranchisement of the Black man in American democracy. Absolutely. Some say the Negro is ignorant. But I say, if he knows enough to be hung, he knows enough to vote. If he knows enough to pay his taxes, he knows enough to vote. If he knows enough to shoulder a musket and fight for the flag, he knows enough to vote. If he knows enough when he is sober, as the Irishman knows when he is drunk, he knows enough to vote. And so, at the time, when we were fighting abolitionists for the abolition of slavery and for equal justice in our democracy, especially after the emancipation, they asked us, what shall we do with the Negro? I said, do nothing with us. Do nothing with us. Your doing has already played mischief with us. If you see us going to a school, let us alone. If you see us going to a dinner table at a hotel, let us go. If you see us going to a workplace, just let us alone. Your interference is doing us a serious injury. And so, on this campus, I see that people are walking freely and getting an education. They're preparing ourselves for the future in this great democracy. That hopefully they're going to contribute to this more perfect union. You know, I came here, as I have come always to these meetings, because of the disposition of some of my friends that called me out upon the platform, even when they knew there was a difference of opinion as to the duty of the abolitionists. I don't know if there's any particular duty of the abolitionists at this present moment. But for those of you who are looking for an employment after this, in my time, General Banks had enacted a labor policy that was discriminatory to Blacks, saying that he was trying to better help them prepare for freedom. Wendell Phillips countered by saying, if there was anything patent about the whole history of the abolition of the black man in American democracy, is that he does not need any preparation for freedom. We'll find our way in freedom just like the white man. And so that's my word to you all today as we honor these great honorees. And all of you are sitting there hopeful. I can remember in 1875, when they erected the monument, the Emancipation Monument for Abraham Lincoln. And they asked me to be the speaker of that event. And of course, he had been assassinated at that time. I'm actually carrying his cane today. Mary Todd Lincoln sent me this cane saying that my husband and our great president wanted you to have this as his favorite walking stick as a representation of the influence you had on him during the Civil War and emancipation. And I was saying at that time that we have come here to look at the future of the possibilities of this democracy, that we can achieve great things. And so I hope you all endeavor to continue that promise. I remember when I came back to Maryland, the first time after they had abolished slavery in Maryland, and I came back and I told them then, I said to the white people in the audience, so much, my white fellow citizens, you have done, and well done. There is, however, one other thing needed to make your work good and complete. One demands the restoration of all rights. I stand here, therefore, to advocate the doctrine and practice of absolute political and civil equality. Now that the monster of slavery is dead, let the shadow and the substance go down together and let them sleep forever in a common grave. And so whatever occupation that you all choose coming out of this college, even if it be in the class of the farmer, I told the black people at that time, I said, and this seems to be quite a rural area here with farms. As my carriage was coming along, I was seeing the farms. And I was telling the colored people at that time, $100 in the country is better than $400 in the city. Woe betide all of you who are crowding the alleys and by streets of the city. You should be, all of you should be endeavoring to buy land and save fund and start your businesses and all of that and build homes and churches and schools. And so that would be the charge today to all of you. And so I didn't want to speak too much. I mean, when I come here, people seem quite startled. The gentleman who walked me to this stage seemed like I thought he saw a ghost. But I did want to entertain maybe one or two questions before we start the awards part of this occasion. Someone might be curious about some part of my life or something on your mind. I could surely take any question from the audience if you might have one. Just raise your hand. Yes, in the back, sir. Well, I was born in Talbot County on the eastern shore near St. Michael's. I don't know if you've ever traveled across the Chesapeake Bay. Around the year 1818. Unfortunately, I did not know the date of my birth, as slaves did not know the dates of their births. The closest we could come would be planting time or harvest time. Even knowing the date of your birth might have given you too much knowledge. You might want to celebrate your birthday by running away. But in spite of the fact that my mother was sold to another plantation, I only saw her a handful of times. I never saw my mother during the light of day. But I do remember once she brought me a heart-shaped cake and she called me her little Valentine. And for that reason, I decided to use February 14th as my birthday. Yes, yes. Is there another question? Oh, right here, yes.
Did you ever meet Nat Turner?
No, sir. I understand that I might be in Nat Turner country, but I certainly never met Nat Turner. But as I read many books in my time, I mean, how else would I inform myself about the history of this world unless I read all the books that I could? And so I read about Nat Turner. I read 12 Years a Slave. I read many books of poetry. I'm a lover of poetry. And I know there is much controversy about Nat Turner and his rebellion. But I know I was pressed on this one time and I said, the only thing worse than rebellion is the thing that causes rebellion. Yes, sir. Is there another question? Yes, ma'am.
Is there a certain poem that brought you encouragement in your most challenging times?
Oh, absolutely. Understand I was in Baltimore and my master's mistress, his wife, was teaching me how to read and write, and then he stopped her from that. But my mind was already corrupted at that time. I mean, I became a worthless slave, so to speak. And so they sent me back to Talbot County and put me under the servitude of a notorious slave breaker by the name of Mr. Covey. And Mr. Covey commenced to giving me the lash almost every week for 6 months. And he had almost broken my spirit. I found myself sitting on his steps just a few blades from the Chesapeake Bay and about ready to kill myself. And I said, well, if I'm going to kill myself here, sitting as a slave, why don't I try to escape and die that way? But the only thing that at that very lowest moment of my life, I was watching the sails of the vessels going up the Chesapeake Bay towards Annapolis. And those white sails represented some future, some hope that there was freedom beyond Baltimore, beyond Annapolis. And I wrote in my narrative, I don't know if you all might want to go to the library here and find my narrative, if it's here, a narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, where I drafted a little poem about my misery at that particular time. Now, I'm not going to do that poem for you, but you might not know that as I said, I knew many poets of the time, Longfellow, Emerson, Paulus Dunbar. Paulus Dunbar was, as a matter of fact, in 1893 at the Chicago World's Fair, I invited the young Paulus Dunbar to the Chicago World's Fair, and he read from his first book. And I had told Paulus Dunbar about this moment in my life, and then he actually followed me in one of his poems with a much similar poem, and I love his poem better than I love my own. And so his poem is called Ships That Pass at Night. Out in the sky, the great dark clouds are massing. I look far out into the pregnant night, where I can hear a solemn booming gun that tells me the ship I seek is passing. My tearful eyes, my soul's deep hurt are glassing, for I would hail and check that ship of ships. I would stretch out hands, cry aloud. My voice falls dead a foot from thine own lips, and but its ghost thus reach that vessel passing. O earth, O sky, O ocean, still surpassing, is there no hope for me? Is there no way that I might catch and check that speeding bark, which out of sight and sound are passing. So yes, I did catch that ship. I escaped. I escaped from Baltimore. I made my way to New York. I got married and then ended up in New Bedford, Massachusetts. I changed my name from Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey to Frederick Douglass. I became a speaker. And unlike all the honorees that are here now with letters before their names and diplomas on their walls, I remember the spokesperson for the Garrison movement, as we were making speeches all over Massachusetts, he would introduce me like this. He would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, I have before you today Fred Douglass. He is the graduate from the Peculiar Institution of Slavery with his diploma written on his back." So young men, as you play baseball and in pursuit of your degree, when you get it, hang it on the wall and be proud of it. Yes. Maybe one more question and I will let the, yes, in the back there. Yes, sir. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, sir. And then the lady.
You know the part of Africa that your family or you would be from?
No, sir. As a matter of fact, you understand that after emancipation, there was a movement to say, what will we do with the Negro? That we might send them back to Africa. When they came to me, I said, I will not go back to Africa. I am from here. I am from African descent, some Indian descent, Anglo descent. I am born here and I will stay here. Now, for those who could go back, yes, let them go back if they want to go back. But I would remind any of you this, if you're thinking about going to Africa, you understand that Africa is not a country, it is a continent. And so if you're thinking about going back to Africa, the first thing you would do before you board that ship is to decide what country and what constitution will you serve? That would be the question. Now, later on in life, when I was in my 70s, I went on a vacation around the world and I went to Africa. I went to Africa and, sir, I actually climbed one of the highest pyramids in Egypt. Now, I wouldn't recommend that for a 70-year-old man. It took me about, I thought I might have to go back home and just recover at home. It almost cut my trip short, climbing that pyramid in Africa. Yes. Yes. And the young lady will be the last question of the night.
Okay, my question to you, sir. I have a picture of Frederick Douglass,
Yes.
and he had very.
Of. She acts like I'm not even here.
Let's get it right. Let's get it right. I have a picture of you, and you have very intimidating eyes in this picture. And my question to you is that when in your travels, do you find people who were intimidated by you? Did you get the feeling that they were intimidated when you spoke? And how did you deal with that? Because you could feel it. In that picture of you, sir, it was extremely hard.
Well, yes.
I mean, you know, just, it was like seeing through people.
I would say this. I would say this. Certainly, people try to intimidate me. I mean, I came to Richmond, Virginia in 1838, and they threw rocks and rotten eggs at me. When I was in Ohio with John Brown, they literally dragged us out of the pulpit at the church, and I took up a stick and tried to swing, and they threw a rock and broke my hand. My hand never really healed. And so there were many times when people tried to intimidate me. I was able to intimidate them mostly with my words and my intellect. Now, as far as pictures go, it is said now that I was the most photographed man in the 19th century. There were more photographs of yours truly than of Custer or Lincoln. And in all those pictures, you might see that I have a serious tone. I am looking intently because I'm trying to counter the narrative that the black man is ignorant, that he is a monkey or he's a caricature of something less than. And so all of those pictures, I am presenting myself to represent myself and my family and my people as a serious person. Not aside from the fact that the daguerreotype was a camera, and I see the cameras here, they're so much smaller. That this was a powerful tool of my time, this new technology of the daguerreotype. And so in this modern era where I understand you all have a camera in your pocket, and you can turn it on yourselves, take your own pictures, that you might remember that if this lady has seen a picture, no doubt 150 years old, of yours truly, that if you take a picture of yourselves, that it still might be alive 200 years from now. And if someone sees that picture of you, how will it represent you and your family and your community? Will they say this young man was a noble baseball player at Paul D. Camp? Or will they look at it and look at your expression and what you were doing and say, he was a fool? Think about that. Think about that. Think about how you represent yourselves. Think about this democracy and what it means to all of us. I would leave by telling you that I began not understanding the Constitution because I was being told what the Constitution said. I was not able to read it for myself. But once I was able to read the Constitution for myself, I realized then that it was not a slavery document. It was actually an anti-slavery document. It was a remedy for everything that faces this country, this democracy. And if we treat it that way, then we should be just fine. You understand that the democracy, this Constitution, there are really two constitutions. I'm going to finish with this. There's a literal Constitution of the Founding Fathers. It's establishing 3 branches of government, 3 equal branches of government. And then there is a Constitution that is in all of us, in our body politic, so to speak. Now, the 3 branches of the literal Constitution are the executive, the Congress, and the judicial branch. In our body politic, there are 4 branches. You all are sitting on a metaphor of your body politic. Your chair has 4 legs. Those branches are the soapbox, the ballot box, the jury box, and the cartridge box. Now, all of you have been very comfortable throughout this oration. You're sitting, what I suppose is in equal branches of yourself. But if you let one of your branches of your body politic get longer than the other or out of hand, if either of those equal branches of your body politic become longer than the other, then you might find yourself sitting on an unstable democracy. I will leave you with that. I am yours truly, Frederick Douglass. Thank you so much. All the honorees of the hour. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President.
I just have one word. Wow. Kind of went two places with that. One place was back where you wanted, back in your time, Mr. Douglas. But then also, for me personally, kind of took me back when I went to Howard University and all the other HBCUs that's out there, that kind of rich feeling
Yes, sir.
that we get when we're on those campuses as well. That was awesome. That was good. Wasn't it awesome?
Strong round of applause. I just want to add that as he talked about some of those things that he went through in his life, and he said, you know, that may seem to make me feel small, but I want to remind all of you that sometimes just the daily stuff that you're doing, it may feel small. And when someone walks up to you and they says, you're doing an amazing job, you're doing great, you're such a role model, you're a legend. And you say, I'm just living my life. I'm just fighting my own struggles. I'm just trying to pay my own bills. I'm just trying to deal with the discrimination, the dislike. I'm just trying to deal with the haters. I'm just trying to get through this day. You just living your own life. He was just living his own life. But through that, our legends gave us greatness. They gave us something like our grandparents, our mothers, our fathers. They woke up, they made it through the day. How many of you laid down last night and you said, just thank you for letting me get back home? Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Thank you so much for your service.
So at this time, I would like to bring to the mic Professor Ronette Jacobs, who is an English professor here at Camp Community College, for a special presentation. Give her a hand. Mr. Douglas, could you come up and join her, please?
Good afternoon. I count it such a privilege to be standing here before Mr. Frederick Douglass. 10 years ago, Mr. Douglass came to visit us on the Suffolk campus. And so I'm just very honored today, Mr. Douglass, on the behalf of Paulding Camp Community College, or Camp Community College, we are affectionately known as. We thank you for your artistic gifts, talents, and remarkable portrayal of Frederick Douglass. We thank you for sharing your history with us. We have enjoyed this educational journey today, and we're very grateful. And we wish you many more years of success. And we see that this is your 10th year, Mr. Douglass, sharing your history with us. And so we thank you for stopping by to educate us and to inform us and to empower us. And we wish you very much success. And on the behalf of Camp Community College, we thank you, sir. Thank you.
I just want to say the caliber of this woman right there, Ms. Jacobs. I can count the number of times I've done this on one hand that I have broken character, and I'm doing it for you. Because when she was heading up the literary festival at the Suffolk campus, I was coming back regularly and doing poetry and working with her to make that a staple of this college. Like you were saying, at the time, I'm just living. I'm just trying to do my thing, you know. But I tell you, it's like this: every opportunity is a rung on the ladder that you might be climbing. And if you miss a rung on the ladder, then you might not be prepared when the moment arrives. So I am prepared at this very moment because I did not miss the rung on the ladder that you provided for me.
Wow.
That's prepared. Thank you.
time that we've all been waiting for. It is time for us to honor our local legends. We are here to celebrate today. I am so excited to start this part of the program, recognizing our local legends. Truly, they are trailblazers. As many of you look around and you see maybe some folks that you know and maybe some folks that you don't know, we want to honor all of you as well. As I was talking to Dr. Johnson earlier and I was asking her about her tenure here, I want to send a special shout out to her and she doesn't want me to, but I'm going to do it anyway. So many of us share first. Mr. Parker, I'm giving you doctor. Mr. Parker talked about HBCUs. So many of you have been first. One of the questions that most people will ask any of us who've been through a HBCU, they'll say, are you a first generation student? Are you a first generation student? Are you the first on your job? Are you the first in your position? How many of you have been first? And sometimes people will say, it's so sad that we still have first. But I think it's such an honor that we still have first. Give a shout out for the first. And that we're still celebrating those things. So at this time, we're going to start with our first local legend, and I would ask that the screen come back on. And so we are going to honor first Judge Alfreda Talton Harris, who is here with us today. She couldn't be here physically, but she is here via Zoom. And so we're going to share a little bit of each person's bio, and then we're going to transition to the folks who are present here today. And for those of you who are present today, we're going to ask that you either can come around this way, and you're going to shake hands with Dr. McCray and receive your award. And then we're going to move this microphone to the middle so that you can say anything you want in 2 minutes. Thank all the people you want to thank in 2 minutes, okay? And I don't have a bell, but I'll come stand beside you. I'm just kidding. Okay.
She needs to unmute.
Okay. She doesn't have to unmute just yet. But when it's time, we'll ask you, Judge Harris, to unmute. Okay. So now I know Judge Harris's bio is a lot longer than this because my daughter, Brianna, received a scholarship from VFW, and Judge Harris actually had Brianna read her, I believe it was a 4-page bio, and so I had to practice it. So I know it's a lot longer than this, Judge Harris, as she was celebrating our future business leaders of America. Honorable Alfreda Talton Harris is a Southampton County native, having graduated salutatorian from Riverview High School, Cortland, Virginia. She is an honor graduate of Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, and American University Washington College of Law in Washington, D.C. She became a juvenile and domestic relations district court judge in 1992 for the 5th Judicial District in Virginia, after having before that been an associate in the law firm of Mason and Robinson, Norfolk, Virginia, an assistant professor at Youngstown State University, an assistant prosecutor for the city of Suffolk, and engaged in the private practice of law in her own firm. Ms. Talton Harris became the first African-American and the first female to open a law office to serve the city of Franklin. Locally, she was vice chair of the Franklin City School Board, a member of Habitat for Humanity, and a member of the Franklin City NAACP. Let's give a round of applause for Judge Harris. Judge Harris, we honor you. We'll ask if you want to unmute, if you would like to share all the comments you want in 2 minutes.
I did not expect to have any comments, and I do appreciate this opportunity. One of the comments that I made on the questionnaire was, the question was, so how do you feel about Black History Month? And it's really stretching it, but this is indeed the 29th, so we're almost losing the whole month. But just like our moderator said, it's unfortunate or fortunate when we say who's the first. But there are so many there are so many things about Black history that it should take more than 30 days, as we know, we only have 29. But in answering that question, I thought about if every day we thought about Black history, if every day we could contribute, who contributed something, then we would really have an appreciation for the fact that it's 365 days worth of stuff that we could really feel proud of as a people, but also to feel proud of as an integral part of this country. And if everybody could just understand that we have more than 365 days of contributions, then we would feel the value we would feel the value that we all bring to this country and to this community. I'll yield the rest of my moments. I can't wait to appreciate the other legends of the community. And as they say, for whom much is given, much is owed. And I hope that we can all find something that we're contributing to the community to make it a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So especially since Judge Harris is on Zoom, we want to read the inscription that is on the awards. And so as it's presented to each person with their name, it says, of course, from Camp Community College, Grow Your Future. With our greatest appreciation, we hereby present to Judge Harris as a legend in our community whose impact inspires us to grow our future. So I just wanted you to hear that since you're not able to be here with us. We appreciate you and we thank you for your service. Please give her a round of applause.
All right. So now on the next honoree that we will be acknowledging right now is Mr. Eric Benton. Mr. Eric Benton is the founder and executive director of Camp 25 and a physical education teacher with the Southampton County Public Schools. Camp 25 has provided educational camps, sports camps, and sports leagues for over 2,100 youth thus far. What motivates me daily would be God, family, friends, and serving our local youth, Eric said. Being able to enhance the lives of the youth throughout the area will always be rewarding to me. Mr. Benton said his inspiration has been his mother, who is in attendance, his father, his bonus father, that's me, y'all, and I'm proud, and his grandmother, because they have taught me the importance of being responsible, respectful, and caring. I want to leave behind a legacy of being someone who cared about the community, but most importantly, the children of our community, he said. I hope the impact of Camp 25 inspires the next generation and generations to come to make a positive impact in their community. Mr. Benton was also the recipient of the Hampton Roads Inside Business Top 40 Under 40 Award in 2022. As Dr. Artis said, there's a whole lot more that he has already done also in his young age. But as well as all the honorees that are still serving us, we need to get behind them and with them to make sure that their legacy and the things that they are doing continue for our community. So at this time, we will ask Mr. Eric Benton to join our president in receiving the award.
So I have 2 minutes, correct? All right, I'll make it short. All right, so first of all, good afternoon to everyone. I would like to give an honor to God because without God, nothing is possible. Secondly, I would like to thank Camp Community College, Dr. McCray, the rest of the hardworking people here at Camp Community College. So the thing about Camp Community College for me is when I first came fresh out of college, one of my first jobs was here at Camp Community College. Camp holds a special place in my heart because I learned how to, well, first of all, recognize her, Dr. Jones, right here. Y'all clap it up for her. I was like, I don't know, 24, 25, and Dr. Jones, she, back then they had these little purchase requisitions. You guys remember those? And I'm telling you, if I wrote one wrong dot, one wrong number, she would send me back to my office to recorrect it. She helped me with planning. Well, Benton, are you doing this? Are we doing this? And she really stayed on me. So I appreciate you for that because it has really helped me in my career path that I'm on now. So thank you. I move on to my bonus father. He has helped me out a lot as well. He's considered the smart guy of the family. So, you know, if you have any questions about a computer program, anything that you need, that's the guy to call. So thank you very much for everything you've done. My beautiful mother, stand up. She taught me the importance of not taking shortcuts, working hard, and respecting people. And she really believed in train up a child in the way that he or she should go. So I thank you for that. And lastly, I'll just talk about Camp 25 real quick. I'm most proud of it because, and again, it's not me, it's a lot of us that do, but we've served a lot of kids in the community. And the most thing that I'm proud about it is that we bring together all type of kids who come from great backgrounds, kids who come from not so great backgrounds. And one thing that we've never done is we've never turned a child away due to financial reasons. No matter the situation, we always try to help them, even if we have to go pick them up. So, you know, in closing, I'll just, you know, expound on that a little more. We offer 7 programs to the youth, primarily ages 4 to 17, but some of our programs go up to 17. So some of the things that we offer is right now we're currently running a basketball and cheer league that has over, I think we have 16 basketball teams, 3 cheer squads, which is almost 220 kids that will be closing out this Sunday. So we're very proud of that. We offer a soccer league that program only has over 125 kids. We offer a volleyball league. We also offer one-day camps such as engineering, baking, gymnastics, and just things to help kids start on a career path, nursing, things like that. We offer a spring break camp, summer camp, and we also provide transportation for different things. So if you have a child, little brother, cousin, or anything that may be interested in any of those programs, please let us know and we'll be glad to serve them as best that we can. So very thankful. I won't call out any more names because there's a lot of people that help us out and I don't want to miss anyone, but very thankful for the village and thankful for all of you being here and congratulations to all the other honorees. Very proud of you guys as well. Thank you guys so much. God bless.
That was a little bit more than 2 minutes. You know, went over maybe about 10. Don't follow his lead. We're very proud of you, very, very proud of you and all the great things that you're doing in our community. Thank you so much. Our next honoree is Mr. W. Ross Boone, a native of Suffolk, has held professional and administrative educational positions at the elementary, secondary, and collegiate university levels over a career exceeding 35 years of continuous service, ending with his retirement in 2004. Now, I'm pretty sure I've seen him around doing some other things. So I don't know if we believe that 2004. I don't know. Professor Boone has been an active member of various groups and organizations committed to community building and uplift. His efforts in these undertakings has been recognized over the years and acknowledged by various individuals, groups, and organizations across the rainbow of humankind. Professor Boone subscribes to an ideological belief system grounded in giving, which strongly suggests, as God's children, we trust and must give our gifts of time, talents, and treasures unconditionally as we continue life's journey. Professor Boone's self-description is summed up in his life goal of encouraging and assisting others in achieving their goals and dreams. He reminds us all that it is our responsibility as God's children to give the best that we can to all people by getting up, getting out, and getting involved. Live, laugh, and love to the fullest while keeping your eyes on the prize. Give them a round of applause as he's learning about presidents and receiving awards.
Wow. Those of you who know me know that you give me a microphone and you tell me 2 minutes, you just wasted some breath. But I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to make this very simple for a change. You never know in this life who you will run across or who you will meet. You never know in this life which paths have been directed for you or will be directed for you. You never know in this life when your day and this life is going to end. You never know in this life who you may impact by something that you have done or something that you have not done that you promised to do. So life could be like a crapshoot, or it could be like a turkey shoot. But what it is something worth living. And if we live this life long enough, we're going to get a chance to cross a lot of paths in our life. We're going to get a chance to do a lot of things with our life. We're going to get a chance to interact with a lot of people in our life. I've been very fortunate that I've had multiple chances and multiple opportunities to meet people, not only here in the local community, but around the world. And that's been something that I held on to and will continue to hold on to. And always remember that whomever you meet has something to give. And if you wait long enough and you show the patience that's necessary, you'll be surprised what you may get. I'm going to single out one single person in this room today who made it possible for me to end my career, official career that is, as an educator here at Paul D. Camp Community College. And I'm going to ask you to give her an applause, not me, because the applause should go to Dr. Carolyn Sheriff Mayfield. Stand up, Carolyn. Now, briefly, Carolyn and I were colleagues when we started out. But I would not have been her colleague here had she not made a commitment to talk to Jared Frigger and said, this young man that they just kicked out of the search should be put back in the search because he is what we need now at this college. I was put back in the search, and lo and behold, for 10 years, I was able to do things here that I would not have gotten that opportunity. That was an unknown piece. The known piece is what we were able to accomplish as students, as staff, and as faculty during my brief 10-year career here at Paul D. Camp. And I will be forever grateful for Carolyn and all of those folk, known and unknown, whose names I could call but will not call, who made it all possible for me to be standing here today. And this is funny, to be a legend. I'm glad Dr. Artis got it right and explained to me what a legend was, because I thought it was like a philosopher. You had to be dead before you got it. I just said that, thanks again.
W. Ross Boone for your service to our community. And this is what we do, y'all. We pay it forward. When you leave here, make sure you call somebody. And if they're no longer with us, just say it out loud, thanking them for how they made a way, how they created a path. We don't do anything by ourselves. I pass on the microphone to my co-host.
And for our next honoree, Miss Valerie Kofer Butler. Valerie Kofer Butler, a lifelong resident of Smithfield, made a career in the financial industry and retired from SunTrust Bank in 2017 as vice president and commercial banker. After retiring, she was looking for her purpose and discovered interests that still allowed her to interact with people. In 2018, she became a realtor to help people realize their dreams, to become homeowners and create wealth and legacies for their families. The most enjoyable part of being a realtor is developing new relationships, she said. In 2018, also, she ran a successful campaign for Smithfield Town Council, where she served the community and given a voice to the silent and underserved. She ran another successful re-election in 2022, and at that time was nominated vice mayor of the town of Smithfield. When her terms are over, she wants her constituents to say she served well and made a difference. One of her most rewarding experiences was serving as president of the Isle of Wight NAACP. Serving in that capacity taught her what leadership and volunteerism was truly about. I served with a great group of people who trusted me to represent them and trusted that I would do what's right for the community, Ms. Butler said. Again, I present to you our next honoree, Ms. Valerie Kofer Butler.
Glad I get to go early in our order after Eric and Ross. But I have my little crutch here that'll keep me on task, hopefully. First, I'd like to thank Dr. McCray, Dr. Jones, and the Camp Community College for recognizing me as one of your honorees. I also like to thank Dr. Johnson. We had we text inbox messages or something, and she wanted to know that I was chosen because I was the first Black vice mayor for the town of Smithfield. And I told her, Dr. Johnson, I'm really not the first Black vice mayor, but I am the second. Will you still honor me? I'm not a first on this official list, but I am first in my family. It wasn't until I sat down to answer the questions that Dr. Jones sent me that I put things in perspective about some of the things that we've done in the community. I say we because this recognition is just not about me, but about the community. And I'm just a conduit, and I thank God for that opportunity. Some of the things that were mentioned in my bio, I'm not going to mention those again. But what I do know is you can't possibly have the energy, the positivity, the resilience, the humility, and the vision it takes to lead when you're personally struggling. I am learning self-care, to take time for myself right now. The most important thing that I do know is you can't be successful without the help and the encouragement and the prayers of others. And so I do have some recognitions that I like to do today. I'd like for you to recognize, see my mom and dad, my aunt, Stacy.
my son, two of my sisters, and two of my brother-in-laws. I'd like for you all to stand up, because I want the people to see you. I have some other new friendships that I've developed with an awfully nice group of women through a book club, and it's a no judgment zone for me. We can talk about anything, and there's no judgment there. Rebecca, Ellen, Donnie, and Lynn, I'd like for you to stand. I also have some church and community people here. Pat, Barbara, Elsie, Jesse, and Richard. Just recently, I've had I consider one of my most humbling appointments is to serve on Riverside's Health Systems Board. We had a board meeting on yesterday, and the chair said that he was gonna be here today. And Gabe, you don't really know how much that means to me. Sheriff Gabe Morgan is from Suffolk, Newport News, I'm sorry, but he's also chairman of the Riverside Health Systems Board. I'd like for you to stand. As you know, we're getting a hospital in Smithfield, the Riverside Smithfield Hospital. You know, I've had the opportunity to continuously work with the new relationship that's developed, and Jessica Macalino is here. Jessica. And I have some other church friends that are here. I call two of these generational friendships, along with Elsie, because they're actually friends of my mom's, but they're friends of mine too. Hazel, Dorothy, and Sandra. I want you to know that my service on town council and any association that I have in organizations are intertwined to working closely in the community and serving the underserved to make a difference and improve the lives of others. I like to be remembered for caring for my parents, loving them unconditionally, and helping them live the rest of their best life. Secondly, I like to leave a legacy of advocacy, of representing others fairly and equitably, ensuring all persons have access to health care, voting rights, affordable housing, things that will impact and change lives. In closing, I want to once again express my heartfelt gratitude to Camp Community College for this honor, and I want to thank each and every one of you who have supported me in this journey. Thank you.
Now, if you think you brought more guests than Ms. Butler, raise your hand. Stand up. Thank you, Ms. Butler. Thank you so much for your service and your work in the community. Thank you. Next, we honor Ms. Angela Gary. Ms. Angela Gary is a native of Southampton County, is nearing the completion of a 40-year tenure at the Children's Center. Ms. Gary currently serves as a lead early Head Start teacher and has taught and influenced hundreds of children and families in the Western Tide Ward community. She says, I've had the opportunity to work with families, service coordinators, social services, and many other community service professionals. Ms. Gary has a special place in her heart for special needs children. When I first decided to work in early intervention, I really felt like special needs children were not getting the attention they needed. After the Children's Center program, I saw that no child was left behind or left out. I've watched the children grow and learn and pass their educational goals, one child at a time. She also served as a Safe Sitter class teacher, Rural Infant Care Project instructor for Franklin and Southampton County, Danny Chitwick project teacher, Southampton Extension Service Technician, and the Parent Group Instructor. And she is a proud graduate of Paul D. Camp Community College. Let's give her a round of applause.
And I'm still wondering how I got here. By the grace of God, I know. Excuse me. To my Paul D. Camp instructors, thank you for holding my hand. To the families we serve, we could not do without you. You are essential. To the Children's Center staff, thank you for the hard work you do every day. Thank you for making a difference in my life and the life of children. But still, we have a lot of work to do, people. Grandparents are raising children. The community is raising children. We have a lot of work to do. So let's continue to make a difference. God bless you.
Now we would recognize Ms. Norinda Pless. Norinda Pless is the first woman and African-American to hold office as Suffolk's Commonwealth Attorney. Yes. Ms. Pless received her Juris Doctor from Indiana University and her Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Political Science from Agnes Scott College. She is a graduate of Green Run High School in Virginia Beach and the Governor's School of the Arts in Norfolk. Ms. Pless also served as a Deputy Commonwealth's Attorney in the city of Norfolk. Prior to working in Norfolk, she worked in the Suffolk Commonwealth Attorney Office as a Deputy Commonwealth Attorney and as an Assistant Commonwealth Attorney for Sussex County, as well as the city of Emporia and Greensville County. Ms. Pless has a love for service. Some of her past work includes serving on the board of the YMCA of Emporia, Greensville for several years, with 2 of these years as being co-chair of the board. She also, this is very interesting, mind you, she has a lawyer degree. She acquired her emergency medical technician certification and volunteered as an EMT for the Greensville Volunteer Rescue Squad as a general member. Now that is humbling and awesome to do. So I give to you and introduce to you Ms. Norinda Pless.
Hello, everyone. So I will make my comments 2 minutes because I don't want anybody saying that lawyer was lying, right? We already got a bad reputation. But I want to thank Paul D. Camp for this honor. It is very humbling because I used to have to ask Judge Harris for permission to speak in her courtroom. So to be on the stage with her while she's also being honored is very humbling. Thank you all for thinking about me and the work that I've done. Running for office is no small feat. Running for office in Suffolk is no small feat. Running for office, I was told, you're never gonna win. I was told I wasn't gonna win. Not because I was unqualified, not because I couldn't do the job, but because of my gender and the color of my skin, I was told I would not win. Thank you, Suffolk, for coming through, right? Thank you for making progress. So I'm very honored to be doing this work. This is my calling. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I love it. I love the work that we do. My office in particular is very much into community outreach. Prevention and education are one of the focal points of my office. If I can prevent people from coming into the criminal justice system, I will. We still have a job to do as prosecutors, but any type of prevention or prevention and outreach are really what we're about in my office. I hope that I'm serving as an inspiration to someone else. We need diversity in politics. We need people to run. We keep getting what we get because no one else will put themselves in the pot. It is not easy, I won't lie, but somebody's got to do it. And if not you, then who? And so I hope that I'm serving as an inspiration for someone who might be considering this. I'm here to help you. If you're thinking about it, call me. I will help you. Maybe not the best. I'll probably have to consult other people, but we'll get you there. But we need people to come out, as Frederick Douglass said, we need people to serve on juries. Don't try to get out of jury work. I know you don't want to be there, but that's what we need. And you have to come out and vote. Otherwise, nothing will change and you're part of the problem. Thank you.
True. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Pless, for your service and for your work that you continue to do in the community. Our next honoree is Mr. Greg Scott. Mr. Greg Scott. Yeah, sure. Give him a round of applause. Mr. Greg Scott is a retired NFL defensive lineman from Southampton County who has dedicated his life to helping children and families in his community for the past 15 years. In 2008, after rehabbing from a torn ACL and coaching 2 seasons at Hampton University, Mr. Scott was at a crossroads about his future. After much consideration, he was led toward philanthropy and giving back to his community. In 2009, Mr. Scott started implementing plans for Cover 3 Football, a children's charity. Shortly into 2011, Cover 3 Football became Cover 3 Foundation, allowing for more programming and resources for his community. C3F programs teach and feed thousands of children every year. Mr. Scott is a member of the Southampton County School Board and a member of both the Washington Commanders, formerly Washington Redskins, give it up, go ahead, and Cincinnati Bengals alumni. Mr. Scott is also a motivational speaker and civic leader. Give him a round of applause.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank the Pawnee Camp Community College for this honor. It's truly an honor to be standing before you today. It is amazing that I'm thankful for my mother. I was thankful for so many people, my mother, my father, my brothers. Actually, I have some staff members here from Cover 3. If y'all will stand, please give them a round of applause, please. It's amazing to be standing before you today, and I'm just thankful for what Cover 3 has been able to accomplish. You know, I didn't know where the good Lord was going to send me after my football career was over. You know, that's a difficult transition once you take those pads off and you start moving to the next phase of your life. It's not as easy for some guys, but I am thankful for the people that I had around me to lead me to philanthropy and helping children in our community. Cover 3 Foundation, we've been able to serve over 4.5 million healthy meals and snacks to children in our community. We've been able to serve over, like I said, 4.1 million snacks, meals, and breakfasts to children in Western Tidewater since 2010. I am a man that walks by faith and not by sight. And for those who don't, faith is believing in things that you cannot see. That's right. I could see my football career. I saw that as a young kid. I did not see my philanthropy, and I couldn't do that without my staff, all the wonderful people at Cover 3 Foundation past and present, especially the ones currently there, but we've had a chance to employ over 100 people in our time over there at Coventry Foundation. So we are truly thankful for what we're able to do. We know there's more work to be done. I'm thankful again for my staff and the people that come to work every day because they're just as passionate about the work that we do as I am. And I couldn't be more thankful about my staff. You guys see my face, but believe me, I'm the one that probably does the least amount of work. If not for those people over there and those people that come in that building every day, I would not be standing here before you. So again, thank you all to Camp College for recognizing us. This is truly an honor. We're thankful, and we still have more work to be done. Thank you so much.
Some years ago, I helped develop a program called Uplift in Suffolk, and it was for kids who were on their way and trying to keep them from going into the juvenile justice system. And as we were developing that program, we needed food for the children, and they said, call Cover 3. I said, what's Cover 3? I don't know what that is. Franklin, I know Franklin. I don't know. I found out about this program. I called, a nice lady answered the phone. Perhaps it was one of you. And from that day forward, the kids had food, more than enough to take home. And I just want to say, I've heard your name. I'm a professor as well through the Hampton University students and different ones. He says he does at least work well. Hey, stay in school. Children, my girls are in the back, stay in school. It gets hopefully a little bit easier as you climb the ladder. But those ideas, that vision, that leadership, thank you so much for your service. Thank you, Mr. Scott.
And for our last honoree, but definitely not least, Miss Denise Tynes. Denise Newby Tynes is a native of Smithfield, Virginia, and has dedicated 45 years of her life to serving her community and advocating for others. She holds a bachelor's degree in special education from Norfolk State University and a master's degree in computer science from Hampton University, and is currently pursuing a doctorate in health administration. Denise's professional journey includes 15 years of service in the Isle of Wight County Schools and 3 years in Charles City County School. She has held leadership roles in various organizations, including serving as vice chairwoman and chairperson of the Isle of Wight County School Board and Western Tidewater Community Services Board. In addition to her contributions to education, Denise has been actively involved in numerous community organizations, such as Western Tidewater Community Services Board, Blackwater Regional Library Board, Smithfield Town Council, and Suffolk, Portsmouth, and Williamsburg local human rights communities, among others. She has also served on committees focused on community and economic development, legislative matters, and healthcare access. Denise's dedication to advocacy, leadership, and community service has left a lasting impression and impact on Smithfield community and beyond. She is driven by her passion for helping others succeed and is inspired by the legacy of her parents and the potential of all children. Sounds like Frederick Douglass in the gender of a female. I present to you Miss Denise Tynes.
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Dr. McCray. Dr. McCray and I, we go back long ways when he used to, I would say he was the CEO of another educational organization. I would also like to thank Ms. Jones and all of the staff of Camp Community College. I'm here today because of all of you and because of all of the people before me. And I would like to thank all of them. And even those that are no longer with us today,
I did what I needed to do for all of them. And I will continue because as we all, well, I'm a believer, when you're born, you're coming here for a purpose. And my purpose was to help others. And I knew that at an early age because my first week at Norfolk State University, I majored in pre-med. And after about 2 months, I knew that was not my calling. And I ended up going into special education because I felt I could impact that area more so than just being in the medical field, because I really didn't want to be a doctor other than being in pathology. So, I wasn't going to be doing a lot, actually working with people. And I want to leave you with this today. The best advice that someone has ever given me, and that was pretty much about 10 years ago. And they said that power is really not in the position that you were appointed to or elected to. Power comes in what you do to impact others. And that is very important. And I remember that, and it stayed with me. And even today, this is not for Denise Newby-Tynes. This is for all of you. Thank you.
Can we pause for a second and let's give a round of applause to all of our honorees. Now we'll have our closing remarks by Dr. Tara Atkins Brady, the Vice President of Academics and Student Development.
Good afternoon. It is my honor to transition us from this wonderful program to the reception to follow, so my remarks will be brief because I know I am the last item on the agenda between you and the food outside. I do want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of you for being here today. Your presence and your participation has made this event truly special, and your commitment to being here to honor Black history and community excellence is deeply appreciated. Today's program has been both educational and inspiring. So, Mr. Frederick Douglass, and to all of our honorees, thank you for the leadership that you exemplify through who you are in your hearts and in your character, and for the work that you do that makes individual lives better, communities stronger, and futures brighter. It's also with sincere gratitude that I need to recognize the dedicated members of the team that planned today's event. So if you are here as I call your name, if you would stand to be recognized, we will applaud for all of them together at the end. Here's the group, and it's a big one, and they did an awesome job. Ms. Nancy Allstedt, Dr. Carlita Artis, Ms. Michelle Dandridge, Mr. David Felton, Ms. Ronette Jacobs, Dr. Tony Johnson, Dr. Trina Jones, Dr. Justin Oliver, Mr. Travis Parker, Dr. Angela Schaefer, Ms. Janae Sweat, and Mr. Jeffrey Ziegler, and a special thank you to Mr. Kelly Klass for all of the technical support. Their hard work, creativity, and tireless efforts have been instrumental in bringing this event to life today. Please give them a round of applause. So in closing, let's carry the spirit of today's celebration with us, honoring the past, celebrating the future, and growing a brighter future together. Please enjoy the reception, safe travels home, and we hope to see you all again with us very soon.
Dr. Atkins, thank you all so much for coming. You are all legends. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.